Don't touch that dial now. We're just getting started. Dad was such a drag. Every day he'd eat the same kind of food, dress the same, sit in front of the same kind of games. Yeah, he was just that kind of guy. But then one day he goes and kills us all. He couldn't even be original about the way he did it. I'm not complaining. I was dying of boredom anyway. But guess what? I will be coming back, and I'm bringing my new toys with me.
Eight years ago, 13-year-old Josh downloaded a game off the PlayStation Store called Silent Hill Playable Teaser. 13-year-old me was a fan of Markiplier and just wanted to do horror Let's Plays, and horror games didn't really bother me that much, so I decided to download it. Here I am, age 21, and that game has still stuck with me. And I've played a lot of games back in the day and have replayed them recently and realized that they don't scare me as much, but PT at age 13, at age 18, at age 21 has given me the same feeling of just absolute terror every single time. So I want to talk about this game and then Silent Hill in general because this game has impacted me so much. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like I'm some mega fan who's played every single game. Silent Hill 1 and 2 were extremely fun experiences and honestly to this day still might be some of the scariest games I've played. Especially for its time, it's ridiculous. And PT is no different. Have you seen just the graphical power alone of this game? Looks beautiful in today's day and age. But back in 2014, this was abysmal, and the fact that it could run this smoothly was already just such a huge impact. The game was running on the developer's newest game system, and it was going to be amazing. Everybody was hyped for this game. If you weren't hyped for this game, you knew somebody hyped for this game. And when they canceled it, and when they took it off the stores permanently, it has been one of the biggest disappointments in gaming, in horror, in entertainment in general. People to this day, 8 years later, still talk about the tragedy of this game, which is one of the reasons why I'm talking about it in the first place. The series had its ups and downs, but people loved Silent Hill. When people compared Resident Evil and Silent Hill was always the scarier one, especially because Resident Evil branched out to more of an action-type game. And now that Silent Hill is out of the picture, Resident Evil has been slowly creeping back into that with Resident Evil 7 and Resident Evil 8. However, in my personal opinion, I just don't ever feel that Resident Evil could capture what PT did. As a matter of fact, I don't think any game company has been close to capturing what PT has done, considering it's left such a mark on the community. The series had some strong games and some weak games, so what happened? Why did they stop? Well, gambling. Okay, not exactly. But of all places, I learned information from a Mutahar video from Some Ordinary Gamers. I looked into it a lot myself, and yeah, the owner of the person who made these games just makes gambling machines now and makes NFTs. And they do all sorts of other stuff business-wise, and you can honestly look up their portfolio and see that they're also invested in gyms and esports and all sorts of stuff, but it doesn't look like they're interested in opening the Silent Hill franchise anytime soon, at least with a fully fleshed game. Now is the part of the video where I basically just geek about this game and tell you guys why it's so amazing and why it would have been one of the best horror games of all time. But I'm not going to tell you that. I'm going to have the game show you that. So if you get creeped out easily, you might want to skip to the next chapter.
children by their husband and father. The father purchased the rifle used in the crime at his local gun store 2 days earlier. This brutal killing took place while the family was gathered at home on a Sunday afternoon. The day of the crime, the father went to the trunk of his car, retrieved the rifle, and shot his wife as she was cleaning up the kitchen after lunch. When his 10-year-old son came to investigate the commotion, the father shot him too. His 6-year-old daughter had the good sense to hide in the bathroom, but reports suggest he lured her out by telling her it was just a game. The girl was found shot once in the chest from point-blank range. The mother, who he shot in the stomach, was pregnant at the time. After killing his family, the father hung himself with a garden hose they had in the garage. Now it's time for action. Our society is rotten to the core. I'm talking well. You know what to do. Now's the time. Do it.
Two 04863. 2048.
Yeah, some pretty heavy shit. I bet editor Josh is having a fun time editing this video. This fucking sucks. The audio, the visual cues, even if there's something that's just so small that's different, you're not sure if it is, because the game doesn't just break the fourth wall. It fucking is the fourth wall. You have no idea what is even real and what has happened in this game. When a game breaks the fourth wall, it has to reel you into its surrealness, and you have to be in depth in the game and feel like you're in it. And this game does that perfectly. The phone rings again and again and again. Your 8th time through, it stops ringing. Then your 9th time through, there's some blood on the wall that says hello right next to the fucking phone. The radio keeps telling the same story. Maybe it stops. Maybe it tells a different story. Maybe it's telling the same story but leaving out some events or being more graphic with others. Maybe the radio talks directly to the player, warning it not to do something. This game has so many instances of this doing it, to the point where the game is not even breaking the fourth wall. Like I said, this game is like a fucking curse. You have no idea what is even the fourth wall, because that is how surreal the game is. It drags you into this experience, and it haunted people even when their console was completely turned off. So this game will probably never be made. Not probably, it's just never going to be made. It doesn't seem like people are even interested in making Silent Hill anymore. So what do? Instead of grasping on to what this game could have been, just grasp onto it to what it was. PT alone was a masterful art, even if it was just a snippet of what a full game was supposed to be. This game was beautiful, it was amazing, and it was fucking traumatizing. Maybe it's for the better that this game doesn't even come out, because if it traumatized anyone as near as it traumatized today 21-year-old age me, I can only imagine the cost of therapy would probably go extremely high. The cost of therapy would be higher than gas prices, and honestly, maybe it's a good thing that this game never came out. Because if this game came out, the amount of hype that was surrounding it the full game would probably not even own up to what the hype was anyways. So instead of looking at it as something that was a missed opportunity, let's just accept for what this game actually was. However, I do think it fucking sucks that this game was completely ripped off of any PlayStation store. That is kind of garbage, so people can't play it. But I guess that just further cements the idea that it's a memory. Maybe it's a nightmare that you should forget, because I think it'll be better for your mental health, both because you'll stop obsessing over it, and so that bitch will stop following you from behind.
Lisa is pretty much behind you for the entirety of the game, essentially becoming one with the player as soon as you get the flashlight, according to McDonald. McDonald explained, "She actually attaches to the player's back as soon as you get the flashlight. Here, I demonstrate how you can see some strange shadows. I then lock the camera in place and walk forward, showing how she's always there, following you."
Don't touch that dial now. We're just getting started.